Hey Josh, welcome to the
Hey,
Esri
Nan.
show.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. So tell us what is Hounder?
Hounder is a digital design and development company. We've been around now for about 3 years, and we really just the whole goal has been from this very beginning of thinking that we could just realizing after working in the corporate world for so long beforehand is that we could do it a little bit better than we've experienced before
Mhm.
in the past. And the goal was to be able to work with large companies who need just focused effort on a certain project.
Who was your first customer?
Yeah, wow. So we actually, when we first started and we kicked it off and we decided, hey, we're gonna take the step to do this. It was me and three others,
Mhm.
and we all decided to take the plunge. And when we did, there was a couple companies right on board right out of the beginning that actually reached out and said, "Hey, we'd love to work with you and team to we have some projects and ideas." And one of them was UL. UL was a primary one, and they're based out of Northbrook, but they're a global company. I believe I want to say they're in the 30,000s or so of employees around there, and international. So it aligned with a lot of the work that we've done before in the past with international and enterprise level companies that we were at. And so it just was a good fit. So they were actually, I believe we kicked that project off before any of the other ones. So that was really our first one. And we are 3 years later and we still do a lot of work with them.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
What motivates you, Josh?
Ability to be able to um, come up with ideas and see them out. So every day, just being able to kind of continue to build out your dream, build out the ideas
Mhm.
that you have, and be able to have the ability to do that. To me, I know that when working in larger companies, and it takes your whole all 48, 50, 60 hours of your week, depending, there's really limited time to do much else. But to know that I now have the ability to, from the moment I wake up to the time I go to sleep, I have time to be able to build and work on those dreams and those ideas. So that's been a huge motivating factor, and was a big factor in just trying to do this in the first place so we can try that.
Right. And having said that, it's not necessarily easier, but it just gives you more control.
That's exactly it. It's totally the control factor, and having control of those decisions and being
Mhm.
able to do that.
What's your entrepreneurial purpose?
When you do a startup, or when you have that entrepreneurial, you take that entrepreneurial step. It feels like you've been in the ocean with your life preserver on, and then you just took it off.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is and what it feels like. So when you do that, you're now treading water on your own.
Mhm.
The entrepreneurial spirit to me was always like, it was like, I'd like to try that. I'd like to tread on that water. Like, I'd like, and I want to see what I can, not only can I tread, but what can I do with it. And so it was really more of a challenge than anything else for me. And and just having that bug over time to be able to try to build something up from the ground up, make it awesome, and provide jobs for other people. That
Mhm.
was the huge part of the entrepreneurial spirit around it. And in terms of an overall purpose, was just to be able to have a company that you can look at and say, hey, we did this together, we made this. And as goals change, things like that change, but right now we're just happy enjoying the ride. We're not, there's no big buyout, or or we're going to drop seeds here and there and there. No, it's just like, I think I'm not that smart, to be honest, to do that. So I'm just more, it was about the journey, it was about the drive, and it was about creating those relationships and having that company to be able to just enjoy with ourselves, as founders, as well as folks that we were able to hire.
Mhm. You know, think about a mistake or an incident, not just within the Hounder lifetime, but in your career that became a lesson for you or helped you in doing what you do now.
When going into especially a place of where everything, if you're when you're in a place of starting a business as an entrepreneur, and you're building out that business, you need to focus 100% on what's going to move my business forward.
Mm,
If this one thing that I'm doing, this blog post or this whatever it is, like,
mm,
uh, if this isn't moving my business forward, then the answer needs to be no. If it's not an absolutely 100% yes, then it's a no. And because no, and I, for one, I love doing things. I love going to conferences and talking and doing all those things, but I learned pretty quickly on that I couldn't do that anymore,
mhm.
and I needed, well, not at least for a period of time, until until we were well established or established enough. But saying no is totally a strength, and it's not something to feel that you are um, you know being pessimistic in any way or just being closed-minded. Saying no, if you need to kind of almost be selfish in the sense of, if this is moving my business forward, I need to focus on that. And there's been times where because we didn't do that, there's been time, and I had to learn this, that almost all of us had to jump on a phone call and start, jump on a phone and start making calls and start, making networks and things like that, because we're like, we got to do this, because we didn't initially really plan for that.
What is the new normal going to look like, right? Do you see a permanent impact of this? And specifically from your perspective, what do you think is going to change forever?
As far as long-term impact, I mean, we're going to see that more digital transformation continues to happen, and is more of a norm across all of those industries that didn't traditionally have it. Um, as far as the new normal, I mean, gosh, I really hope sports happen again.
Yeah.
I
True.
mean, I mean, it's eventually, it's all gonna, those are things that are gonna come back, but there's gonna be those long-term impacts, and
Mhm.
economically and stuff. I'm very I'm optimistic that things are gonna happen a lot quicker than what you might read or see. but um but it is, in terms of where that's going, it's going to be interesting. But I do know that from an impact where we're at in the digital space, um, there are things that we need to do to get right, to get better at, and that is, I mean, even online conferencing and some of these apps to communicate and tools to communicate and make it feel more human and real. We need to do that on the design side, on the even on the development side too, to really create some of those experiences to take it further and move it forward. So I think there's gonna be a lot of work there just to improve that over time.
What are you most excited about in life right now?
Oh man, continually excited about just the next, the next thing that,
Mhm.
there's just there. If that, I'm sure this, I know this rings true for those who have that entrepreneurial spirit, but there is just the excitement of what the next thing is going to be. I mean, there's um, a constant just addiction in my, and just in deep in my soul. And I guess this would probably be a good answer also for the motivation factor, but it is I'm always excited about what we're going to be able to do next, whether it be working for another company that's just doing awesome stuff and what that looks like, or specifically a new product that Hounder can create and do and build and sell.
How
And
do you
so
keep
it's
pushing that envelope, so to speak, right? How do you keep
yeah,
nudging at
yeah,
it?
exactly. Keep pushing the envelope, not staying
Status quo.
constant in one
Mhm.
place. Yeah, just constantly being able to move. And you know what, if anything too, there's that addiction of, I have taught back to punching above your weight class. It's almost
Right.
like, I see if we can, okay, we've
Yeah.
climbed this ladder and we're here, but wouldn't that be cool to be up, like jump 5 other ladders right here? And so why not set your sights on that and see,
Mhm.
let's see if we can do it.